Hi, Miss Venable here, bringing you a presentation today on nomenclature, which is naming of compounds. So today's compound is a complex, or sometimes it's called a ternary ionic compound. And this compound is not going to have a transition or Bohr metal. So we will be able to skip some of the steps. So let's get started. The compound I'm going to do today is Ca3, parentheses, PO4, close the parentheses too. And as soon as you see those parentheses, you know that you're dealing with a polyatomic ion, because that's the only time that we have parentheses in a chemical formula is around a polyatomic ion. So let's take a look at the steps. Step number 1, capitalize and name the cation. So I'm going to name the Ca. Ca is a cation. It's written first in our formula, and I can identify where it is on the periodic table. It's right there. It's in group 2, and that is calcium. So it's not a transition metal or a Bohr metal. It's a group 2 metal. They're called alkali earth metals. So I can actually skip step 2. I get to not write any Roman numeral. We only need the Roman numeral if our cation is a metal that is a transition metal or a Bohr metal. So let's move on to step 3. Step 3, capitalize and name the anion. So to do this, I need to identify that anion. And it's not monatomic, right? If it was monatomic, it would just be one element. It's actually one of those where I've got a couple of different atoms clustered together acting like one atom. Those are called polyatomic ions. So they are on my list here. And if I scan through that list, I can find PO4. Now keep in mind, the 4 is part of it. This ion is made out of a phosphorus and 4 oxygens. You always have to keep the 4 with the oxygens because that tells you what's inside the ion, and you can never change what's inside the ion, okay? So I look up the name of that. It says the name is phosphate, so I can name this phosphate. So my final answer is calcium phosphate. And that's how you do nomenclature for ternary or complex ionic compounds that don't have a transition metal.